Hey, what's up guys? Today we are going to take a look at the heroes from the latest Path of Radiance banner. It features not 4 but only 3 heroes. The heroes are Alyssia, Nephenee, and Oscar. In this video I will be going over these unit stats and skills to give you guys a better understanding of these heroes, and I'll let you guys know if they are worth summoning for. At the very end I'll rank them from best to worst. Alright, the first hero is a really special one. It's Alyssia. After like what, 6 or 7 months we finally got a new red flyer. That's already a really good sign. Her max stats are 35 HP, 34 attack, 36 speed, 24 defense, and 27 resistance. Right off the bat you guys can probably tell, but she has amazing offensive stats. She's basically a red Tana. She's only missing a point or two in some of the stats, but the offensive spread is exactly the same. The only other 2 red flyers in the game are Sheeta and Paula, which offensively do not even come close to Alyssia's level. Paula's problem is that her stats are too balanced. Sheeta has really nice speed and resistance, but she's very weak. One pro that Paula has over Alyssia is her ability to tank both physically and magically fairly well, making her a great unit to have on your Fire Emblem team if you need someone to bait and kill off low defense or green units on the enemy phase. Anyways, back to Alyssia. With only 35 HP, 24 defense, and 27 resistance, she's not going to be able to take too much punishment. Even a high attack red mage like Silica should be able to kill her in about 2 hits. However, her defensive stats aren't too important because her offensive spread is just so good that you just want to keep her out of danger and 1-round KO enemies during the player phase. Unlike Paula, Alyssia's stats are good enough to use on any team. It doesn't even need to be on Fire Emblem, but of course she can benefit a lot if she is on a Fire Emblem team. Her weapon is Amity. This is a unique weapon with only 11 might instead of 16. The effect reduces her speed by 2 and she is allowed to attack twice when initiating combat. Basically this is a legendary brave weapon. Compared with Brave Sword Plus, this weapon has 3 more might and only penalizes the unit's speed by 2 instead of 5. This weapon is nuts. She has great attack and insane speed, and this weapon only reduces her speed by 2, which means that with the right build she can quad tons of enemies. And if you put her on a Fire Emblem team with the Hone and Gold Flower buffs, she's going to be a player phase monster. Her assist skill is Ardent Sacrifice, which is decent. If you plan to give her Desperation, then this is a great assist skill to safely reduce her HP into Desperation range. With neutral 35 HP, 75% of that is 26, so only 1 Ardent Sacrifice activation is required. The other 2 assist skill options are Reciprocal Aid or Reposition. In the A slot she comes with Death Blow. Death Blow and Brave weapons are like 2 peas in the pod. They work so well together. However, if you want her to quad more enemies, then I recommend giving her a skill that not only grants her more attack but more speed, something like Life and Death, Fury, or Swift Sparrow. If your Alyssia is plus speed or plus attack, then Death Blow should be fine in either scenario, especially if you have an ally with Hone Flyers. New B skill is Flyer Formation 3. Unit can move to a space adjacent to a flyer enemy within 2 spaces. So this is kind of like Tana's Guidance but backwards. Guidance allows allies to teleport next to the unit, while Flyer Formation allows the unit to teleport next to an ally flyer. I'm not sure how good this skill really is without using it and testing it in game. What I do know is that it'll be a great tool to have for defensive arena teams, because skills like this always tend to catch people off guard. This skill will probably make your Fire Emblem battles a tad bit safer. What I mean is that you can play a bit more careless, because Alyssia will probably be in range with the other flyers, and whenever she needs to, she can teleport behind an ally and reposition them out of danger. This skill should be locked to flyers only. I haven't confirmed it, but I think it's pretty obvious. Also remember that this is a B skill, not C skill, so she can't use Desperation, Drag Back, or Hit and Run anymore, which may not matter. Because her stats are so bonkers, she might not even need Desperation. So should you pull for Alyssia? 100% yes. It doesn't matter if you have a Fire Emblem team or not. She's one of the best offensive red units in the game and so happens to be the best offensive red flyer as well. Her default kit is decent. You can definitely keep it and just fill in the slots. When I first saw the banner trailer, I thought she was going to be top tier immediately just because of her weapon. I wasn't sure how good her stats were going to be, but they ended up being extremely good. She has 34 attack, 36 speed, a legendary brave weapon. Those are good enough reasons to pull for her. Next up is Nephenee. Max stats are 37 HP, 31 attack, 35 speed, 34 defense, and 20 resistance. So we got another really fast infantry lance unit. The other fast infantry lance unit that was just released was Brave Lucina. Nephenee is similar but not really. She's slightly weaker but slightly more tankier. Because she is really fast but has an average attack stat, she may need to rely on specials to take out her targets, especially the beefy ones. Kind of like Long Q to a lesser extent. Nephenee's stat line is actually perfect for that kind of playstyle. playstyle. She's fast, so she'll be able to double most enemies, and she has the defense to tank multiple counterattacks, which will be very important. Just like Brave Lucina, her magical bulk sucks ass, so avoid all mages and dragons. Weapon is Slaying Lance plus 14 might and accelerates special trigger. Cooldown is reduced by 1. So with this new addition, there's now a slaying weapon for each class. I really like these slaying weapons. I consider them to be one of, if not the best non-unique weapons out there. Aside from silver weapons, 14 might is as high as you can get without reaching legendary status. There's really nothing else to it. It's just a really solid weapon. Special is the good old moonbow. I'll get more into it in a little bit. A slash skill is attack speed 2, grants attack and speed plus 2. It's not a bad skill if you are on a budget. Attack and speed are the best stats to increase, and this skill increases both. Plus 2 is kind of low though. Even Life and Death 1 grants more attack and speed. The A slot is one of the most competitive skill slots in the game. I'm sure you can find better options in this skill. You can go with Fury, Sturdy Blow, Swift Barrel, and maybe even Fortress Defense. Alright, the most exciting new skill from this banner is her B skill, Wrath. Only armored and infantry melee units can inherit this skill. If units HP is equal or less than 75%, special cooldown count -1 at start of turn if special triggers by attacking. If special triggers, plus 10 damage from special. Okay, so let's break down the effect. In order to activate the first part of the effect, the unit has to be at 75% or lower HP. If your unit is in that range, then at the start of the turn, your unit's special will automatically lower by 1. Only if the special has an effect that triggers by attacking. So effects like Iceberg, Bonfire, Draconic Aura, Luna, Moonbow, and etc. And when the special triggers, then there's 10 extra damage, just like Wo Dao's effect. Preferably you want to use lower cooldown specials with this kind of effect. Remember that Slaying Lance lowers the cooldown by 1, so 3 charge cooldown specials like Bonfire or Luna are reduced to 2, and Moonbow is reduced to 1. I don't think it really matters which special you use. You can use Moonbow or Bonfire. Either way, she's going to miss out on 1 charge at some point during a stage. Like I said before, her stats are perfect for this type of playstyle. Because Wrath is a B skill, the unit isn't allowed to use Desperation, therefore they'll have to be able to take a hit from at least 1 counterattack. Nephenee has really high defense, so she can probably survive a few hits when she is below 75%. Should you pull for Nephenee? This one isn't as clear cut as Alyssia. It's hard to justify summoning for her, especially right after the Brave Heroes banner. I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you have Brave Lucina, then I would pass. If you missed out on Brave Lucina, then fine. Test your luck and try to pull for her. Wrath is a really nice skill, but it isn't a must-have, so I wouldn't pull just to get it. But yeah, Nephenee as a unit is great. She's fast, physically tanky, and despite her mediocre attack stat, she can deal a lot of damage from her cooldown reduced specials. Last hero in the banner is Oscar. His max stats are 40 HP, 33 attack, 34 speed, 26 defense, and 21 resistance. I know a lot of you guys thought that this guy was going to be like Seth, a mediocre cavalier in the banner that's just there to cockblock Nephenee, but this guy is actually really good. We can compare him with a lot of other blue cavaliers in the game like Camus, Roderick, Abel, and Perry. This guy has the best base offensive stats among all melee cavaliers in the game, which includes Brave Roy. With plus speed IVs, you can turn him into the best fire sweep lance cavalier in the game, and with horse emblem buffs, he's going to be sweeping tons of enemies during the player phase. If you pull a plus attack Oscar, then he can go with the Brave Lance set instead, and if you get bad IVs like minus speed, then just stick with his default kit. He comes with Sapphire Lance and Lance Breaker, which is a great combination of skills. Sapphire Lance covers the red units, while Lance Breaker obviously covers lance units. This is a very common build for units that have bad speed or just balanced stats in general. I mean, heroes with good stats can run this set too, but there are usually a lot better build paths to run. Anyways, usually this build consists of Triangle Adept with the same color breaker skill, but gem weapons work just as good. His assist skill is Rally Speed Defense. I actually don't like speed and defense together. I would much rather have Roderick's Rally skill, which gives you defense and resistance. The reason why is because Hone Speed Fodder isn't that hard to get, and most players typically run a lot of Hone Attack and Speed instead of Fortified Defense or Resistance. Also, emblem buffs like Hone or Fortified Cavalry either grants attack and speed or defense and resistance together. So when you use Rally Speed Defense with Hone Speed, half of the effect is kind of wasted. If you are a newer player and don't have any of these home buffs, then whatever I just said is irrelevant. I mean, you can also just give this skill to your units and just not use it. These two-way rally skills are the best assist skills to have if you want to score higher in arena because they cost the most. Two-way rally skills cost 300, healing staffs cost 200, and everything else costs 150. C slot is Spur Speed Defense 2. 2. It's a double spur effect that grants both speed and defense. Spur effects are combat buffs and do stack with rally skills, so Oscar can grant an ally a total of +6 speed and +6 defense, which is quite decent. I would still rather use drive skills because of the extra range. Just like the double rally assist skills, double spur skills will score higher in arena. Its SP cost is 240, which is tied with several others. Should you pull for Oscar? I have yet to see anyone wanting to pull for Oscar, but if you are pulling for Nephenee, then you are probably going to get Oscar. Real talk though, he's actually a really good unit. If you missed out on Camus or do not have a blue cavalier for your horse emblem team, then sure. He's an amazing player phase unit when fully built. He's also great for fodder because he has a double rally skill, lance breaker, and spur speed defense too. Nothing really exciting about him. He's really basic and comes with nice default skills. I'm sure in a month or two we'll see a power creep blue cavalier with like 34 attack and 36 speed or something, so I'm not too crazy about his offensive stats despite him being one of the best at the moment. Okay, so that was my review on the banner. Like always, I'm going to wrap things up by ranking these from best to worst. Number 1 has to go to Alyssia. Us players have been waiting for a long time for a top tier red flyer, and she's finally here. Just amazing offensive stats and a crazy ass weapon. Second and third can go either way, but when these two heroes are fully built, I actually think Oscar is a lot better. If Oscar is running a fire sweep lance set, then there's no reason to compare the defensive stats, and I think his 33 attack and 34 speed has a slight edge over Nephenee's 31 attack and 35 speed. He isn't as flashy as Nephenee, but don't sleep on him. Overall, I would say this banner is above average. Don't forget, if you guys want to hang out and chat, you can join my Discord. If you have questions about builds or anything else, you can tweet me on Twitter. You should be able to find all the links in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.